Hey, sis. I was recently talking to someone who had a slight note of desperation in her voice. She said, I just want someone to show me the roadmap. I want to know the roadmap for finding my person. And you know what I thought to myself? I got you. I know the exact roadmap. I have helped multiple clients with this. You've heard me talking about my success stories with my clients who've gotten married, and they all come back to the same thing. They all say the same thing. I can tell you the exact roadmap that has helped my clients, that helped me when I was single, the exact stepping stones to take you to walking down the aisle to your amazing husband. I'm going to show you the roadmaps today on this podcast. All right, there's only a few steps, they're mindset steps and strategy steps. They go hand in hand. And when I think to myself, what is more important? They're both important. Like, what you want to do is take each one of these steps and apply them all. Follow these roadmaps, follow this roadmap, follow these steps exactly, and you will get married to your person, to the person that God has created just for you, the man that adores you. Okay? Here's the roadmap. Here's the first step. The first step is a mindset step. And what I want to say is that you can be developing your mindset as well as doing the strategy at the same time, but don't think that the mindset isn't important. Okay, we all want strategy steps, but like mindset is so important too. And here's the first step. Okay, you want to have the mindset of confidence and believing that you are desirable. Like, you need to know that you are attractive and worthy and ready to meet your person. You need to have a long list of all the reasons why someone should marry you and believe them. Because what you're going to do is you're going to walk into a room and try and convince other people, other men, that you're desirable. You need to believe that you're desirable in order to do that. You need to believe and know your value in order to instruct someone else how to know your value as well, right? So once you know that you are confident and you know that you are fully aware of your value, then that's when you've mastered this. When you can walk into a room with it factor confidence and just slay because you believe in your own worth and know your own value. Okay, so the first step is having a mindset of confidence. The second mindset you want to have is a mindset of commitment. And that's where you're telling yourself, I'm not going to give up until I find my person. That you're so committed to this that you literally are willing to guarantee yourself that this will not fail, that this quest will not fail, because you're not going to give up until you meet your person. If you don't do this, you are in for a world of agony. The person who tries to take on this quest that is not committed is constantly telling themselves, it might not work. It might not work. It might not work. Don't do that to yourself. Guarantee yourself that you will succeed by guaranteeing yourself that you will not give up. I want you to think about, like, if you got a degree in accounting. When you get a degree in accounting, you literally tell yourself, I'm not going to give up until I get a job in accounting. Like, I'm going to get a job come hell or high water. And you basically tell yourself that not getting a job is not an option. I want you to think about anybody out there in the world. Most people do not think it's an option to just not work. So I want you to kind of have that same commitment. It's not an option to just not be married. Like, I want to be married and I'm committed to that. And if you have that mindset of commitment, you're going to make life so much easier on yourself because it gets rid of all the nagging doubt and whys and wonders and all of those things that just bog you down. Okay, so have a mindset of commitment. Thirdly, I want you to have a mindset of certainty. A mindset of certainty that this is going to happen. And it kind of goes along with a commitment. But I mean, when I was single, I just knew my person was out there. I had a mindset of certainty. I just knew he was out there and I knew I just needed to meet him. I want you to think about this. Like, you are literally only a step away. You just need to meet him and your love story has begun. Okay. So a mindset of certainty. I like to think about this. Like, people are talking to a lot of different people. Like, they meet guys here, they meet guys there, and they're literally a few days away of falling in love. Like, you meet someone, it takes a few days to fall in love. That's how close it is for you. All right, so those are the mindset of confidence, mindset of commitment, mindset of certainty. Okay, now here are the strategy steps along this roadmap. I listed the mindsets first because I do believe that you don't really want to take too many action steps without cleaning up your mindset. So here are the action steps of finding your person in terms of strategy. First, you've got to learn how to talk to men to inspire commitment. This is why I like to think of it in terms of siren energy. Like, if you can talk to a man that he's just inspired to commit to you, inspired to send you the next text message, inspired to ask you for your number, inspired to ask for your date, to go on a date with him, like inspired to make it Facebook official. Like, you just know how to talk to this guy so that like the momentum is going. Like, I see so many times people talking to men and I'm like, that's going nowhere. Like, you can tell in that moment, you can tell you're having the conversation, you're talking about small talk things like, what'd you do for church? Oh, this is what I did. And then what'd you do when you came home? Oh, this is what I did. And it's so boring. You know, you're not inspiring anything. So you need to learn how to talk to men in a way that's mesmerizing and captivating and forward moving. Like, you're inspiring him to move this thing forward with momentum. So that's something that needs to happen. Like, you need to learn how to talk to men. And that's what I teach my clients. That's what I teach my clients in my coaching program. In fact, like, that's what they love the most. That's what they love the most. Like, I learned how to talk to men. Go back and look at all of my testimonials. I learned how to talk to men. I learned how to flirt. I learned, that's like, it was super important. You've got to figure that out. I'm going to tell you, like, I learned that big time when I was single from all of my dating coaches. My favorite dating coach, I'm going to give you a little hint. My favorite dating coaches were Matthew Hussey and Michael Fiore. They were like masters at this. And I combed through all their material. I read tons of books from them. And it just gave me this massive way to talk to men. And now I teach my clients Flirt Pure, which is kind of like how to talk to men in a way that also inspires him to treat you with purity, and to treat you the way God wants to treat you. So I'm a little bit of a different take on these other masters, but I learned from the best. All right. Next, you've got to learn how to flirt to inspire chemistry. And here's the thing. What I said before was inspiring him to commit, but here you need to inspire chemistry because you want to fall in love too. So, okay, first you got to learn how to inspire him to commit and keep the momentum going. Then you got to learn how to inspire chemistry. And I truly believe that if you leave this up to the guy, it may not happen because good Christian men are not taught how to flirt. You need to learn how to flirt so that you can create chemistry. Okay. I will stand on this till the day I die. You can fall in love by the things that you say, and you cannot fall in love because you didn't say the right things, right? So I want you to learn how to flirt so that you can create chemistry, so that you can fall in love and he can fall in love. This is for both of you, so that you're both falling in love. All right. So those are the things that you need to learn. Okay. So in terms of the next steps on the roadmap to finding your person, you've got to meet more men. You've got to be meeting more men. And that's like, and in the very first part of your journey, it can be any guys. It could be guys at the grocery stores. It could be guys at the hardware stores. It could be guys at the library. It could be guys at the coffee shop. It could be anybody, but you just need to meet more men, because you need to start talking to men and really starting to practice your siren voice. To practice now. You spent all that time learning how to get a guy to commit, and all that time learning how to get chemistry going in the relationship. Now you need to practice that. So you need to be meeting more men. Now, some people think like, well, but I wouldn't want to lead him on. Flirt Pure, the way I teach it, never leads a guy on. What leads a guy on is telling him, I love you, or I really want to be with you, or I see you as my boyfriend. Like, that's leading a guy on. My techniques are very different. My techniques make a guy feel really good about himself, but it's not giving him any kind of commitment. You're not leading him on. You're just making him feel like $1,000,000, right? So you need to be meeting more men so that you can have that energy of, there's guys that I can talk to. And once you start doing that and like seeing how great guys feel around you, then you're going to start thinking to yourself things like, wow, men love talking to me. Whereas before, you're telling yourself there aren't any men out there. I haven't talked to a guy in like so long. There were no men there. And you're telling yourself there's no men, there's no men, there's no men. Now you're telling yourself, wow, there's so many men. I know I'm going to meet a guy at the next event that I go to, and he's going to love talking to me. That kind of energy is attractive. That kind of energy is mesmerizing, and I want that energy for you. In order to get it, you need to meet more men. And to start off with, I recommend they have absolutely no requirements. There's no requirements to just talking to a guy and making him feel incredible with your Flirt Pure energy. There's no requirements for you can do that to anyone. All you're doing is blessing someone's day. That's the way I want you to think about it. I'm just here to bless someone's day. I'm going to use honey words. I'm going to be teasing. I'm going to make him feel manly. I'm going to do all that. I might even sprinkle a little bit of I want you energy just for fun. And like, I want you energy is just saying, oh, wow, that's so hot, you know? And like, again, it's not offering any commitment. It's not asking anything. It's just making a statement. That's so hot. You, gosh, you really know how to make me happy. And that is something that you can do for anyone. You can say that to anyone. So that's the next step on the roadmap, meeting more men in general. Okay. Then the next step after that is meeting more men that you're attracted to. Because I know when you first go out, you're going to talk to the low hanging fruit, the guys that don't intimidate you too much. Well, the next step is to talk to the guys that intimidate you. And then the next step after that is to talk to the guys that are compatible with you. And this is where I go into serious detail with ladies that I work with, creating a connection injection where I get their zip code and we come up with a list. I come up with for them a list of places in their area that they can find these compatible men that are like doing what they want to do, men that believe what they believe. And I send them this list and they start meeting compatible men that they're excited about. Now, in all of this, I want you to kind of be thinking like, where do I need to go? What's my next step? Where am I on this roadmap? All right. And if you're on the apps, if you're on the dating apps, if you're wondering why haven't I mentioned them yet, it's because only 10% of current married people met on the dating apps. Only 10%. 1 out of 10 success rate. So if you're on the apps, it's fine, but just make sure that it's just for fun. Make sure that you're just enjoying yourself, just talking to people, practicing, having fun. If you're on there thinking this is the only way that I can get married, I want you to think again. Go back to the steps, listen to this podcast again. I never mentioned anything about dating apps on the roadmap because you don't need dating apps. You can use it to have fun. You can use it to practice. And hey, you might meet your person, but it can't be the end all be all of your journey, because your journey, again, is coming from a mindset of confidence, commitment, and certainty, learning how to flirt to inspire commitment, learning how to flirt to inspire chemistry, meeting more men in general, meeting men that you're intimidated by, and then meeting men that are compatible with you. All right. And then you talk to them and start exchanging phone numbers. And this is your journey. This is your roadmap. You're meeting more men. Then all of a sudden, now they're compatible men. And now you're exchanging phone numbers. This is your journey. In a few days, you're in love. In a few months, you're dating. A few more months, you're engaged. A few more months, you're married. Sound good? So if you're thinking to yourself, where do I meet these men? I want you to think of where would the man that your ideal guy, where would he likely be right now? Think to yourself, where would he likely be? My ideal guy would be in a church. He would be at church conferences. He would be at church retreats. He would be at church Bible studies. He'd be at the gym. He'd be, in coffee shops. He'd be going to concerts. That's where my ideal guy would be. So I would be hitting up those places. But when you go there and you come with this mindset of confidence and certainty and commitment, and you know how to talk to men, so you can walk up to any guy and talk to any guy, it's just a matter of time. And then after you take all of this roadmap and you've taken down every step of this roadmap and you've excelled at every step of this roadmap, then you pray and you wait. That's when you pray and you wait. After you've gone down this roadmap, or you're working your way down this roadmap, that's when you pray and you wait. You don't pray and you wait and do none of this stuff. Don't do none of this stuff and be praying and waiting, having done nothing. Don't do that. Follow this roadmap. Let's get you married, sis.